Hi guys, Andrew from Polo Reef talking to you about the 900-gallon drop down. We've had all these plans to put chalices on the back drop-off wall. And later today, Michelle is going in. So stick around and enjoy this episode. Getting it here was a real hassle. Transportation, it took over a year. The first one cracked. So if you guys remember, this tank had to be craned over the house and through a 1-inch doorway of this little room. We advise you to catch up on that episode. That's part 1, how the tank actually got in here. It was sort of wild. Part 2 talks about the plumbing and the rockscape and how we fused the rocks together and vented that gaseous fumes out the door. Those 2 videos will catch you up to where you are today. So I want to take you through a little walkthrough of the tank and how it stands now with coral and lighting. We started with a lot of Japanese acans, this whole area, and there was something about it that looked too much for me, and slowly we took some of them out and have added more zoas and more gonis. We also have added a brand new amazeballs, and we are rethinking this wall hammer because it's starting to get very close to the gonis and the zoas, and they are fighting. In terms of acros, we haven't done a lot. We've added a few here and there. We did some work in the back with the staghorn from Worldwide Coral, the green stag, and we put in Walt Disney next to it. The torches are sort of where we want them to be now, and we've added some hint of chalices on the dark parts. One of our favorites is the Tyree Pink Tip Elegance. This came from BSA. We love the flowing look. It's perfect on the shelf. And then we found its big brother. So we have a second new elegance down below. And today you're gonna see a wall of chalices appear. So mixed reefs, again, very difficult. You got different corals requiring different flow and different lighting. We did our best to accommodate that. But by adding this new Kessel light, we light up the back wall for chalices. When we match the Kessel light to the Illumimagic, so it blends well. So now that we went over the coral, I want to talk about the fish. We wanted this tank to have smaller fish in general. We wanted it to be Anthias and wrasse dominated. We got a batch of purple queens in here. You guys should watch the video on how we got them in here and how we got them through quarantine, because those fish are very difficult, beyond expert. In fact, many people will say leave them in the ocean, but this time we got them through and very happy of the results. A whole school of hell freaky firefish which stay on the deep end. We also came across many baby purple and black tangs because we didn't want big fish to intimidate the purple queens. But lastly, we came across a koi tang that just caught our eye, that had been in captivity for 2 years. I'm not a huge fan of paying big money for koi tang because of the color changes, but this one had not had any color changes in 2 years in captivity. And when studying his demeanor, well, let's just say he was more of a wussy than an aggressive fish. He's right there. He's not as big as we thought, and his attitude is to play nice. And now I'm gonna feed him, and you'll see him in action.
Andrew likes to keep his fish happy by feeding a variety of different foods. Over time, this type of diet pays off. The fish are all very healthy, and rarely are they picky eaters.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pass you on to Jonathan to give you a little bit more highlights on the equipment, the sump in the basement, the UV, etc., and the lights. they even have plans for changes in UVs, etc.
Thanks, Andrew. We're super excited about what we've done here with the lights for this 900 drop down. We've installed 12 of the Delua X4s. They are running approximately 75% of their potential, and we have them approximately 2 feet above the tank. We went with 12 of them so that we can get good coverage without having any dark spots. The tank is 9 feet by 3 feet, broken up into each grid section of the tank because the top of the tank is in 3 sections. We also have this steep wall here that we put chalices on, and to illuminate that, because of the shadows from above, we installed this Kessel A500 here on an angle so that we could get light to that wall without it being shaded by anything else or by affecting other corals with a hot spot. Additionally, I'd like to show you guys the closed loop that we have running on this tank. We chose an ABIZ 400 as our return pump due to its reliability and tremendous amount of flow it generates. We have 4.5-inch drains that are underneath the rockwork that are feeding into the pump, each one with individual valve control. And we have a multitude of returns coming back from the pump, each individual valve controlled, so that we can control like areas like this where we don't want a lot of flow over our scoles that might get blown away, while down here where we might need a lot more flow to push up some of the deeper water instead of it stagnating in this deeper section with not getting flow. Also on this system, we have a 300-watt UV using amalgam gas bulb, which was sized for our previous system, which had a 200-gallon tank here and not this. So we are currently upgrading it to a 1200-watt UV, which is just 4 of these bulbs in a 6-inch housing. It's about 6 feet long, and that should be arriving in the next couple of weeks. The life support for the 900 drop down and 150 anemone tank is combined. The life support consists of a sump that holds approximately 250 gallons of water when it's running and has the dimensions of 4 feet by 4 feet by 4 feet. The return pump is a 2-horsepower custom designed pump for Andrew. The tank is chilled with a 2-horsepower chiller where the coil is inside and the condenser is outside, so that all the heat remains outside of the house. The tank has one of the largest bubble skimmers that is normally produced running it. It uses 4 7-inch by 32-inch filter socks for mechanical filtration. There is a carbon reactor and GFO reactor currently running that we will be upgrading to accommodate the larger volume of water since we've upgraded to the 900. We also have plans for the final stages of this to wrap the top of it and bottom of it in cabinetry that complements the other cabinets in the room, and possibly adding some detail of shadow boxes down here below, but we'll see once the construction is complete of the final product of that.
Thanks, John, for a quick rundown of the equipment used on the 900. With the tank nearly stocked up, today, Andrew wants to put the finishing touches on the 900-gallon dropdown. For this difficult mission, Polo Reef had to call in their resident diver, Michelle. This dive was going to be very difficult due to the tight space and difficulty seeing the wall.
Hi, Michelle. Well, we're wondering how you're going to actually physically get in this tank today. And we've been looking forward to this moment. And they're all going to go on this back wall. I already explained that we put the Kessel light there so it lights up. And some of it will be us looking through you to see how it looks. And I think we'll group the rainbows together and the oranges and the reds together also. You have any thoughts?
Well, I think once I get in there, I'll probably have more
Yeah.
of an opinion on it.
I think we're gonna have to clear out some of this stuff to make room for you.
Yeah, I'll stand there. And
Yeah. You ready to go? Hop in there?
yes, I am.
Okay, and you got your glue ready?
Yes.
And seeing through you might be an issue too, so you, like, we're gonna probably ask you to like get into all sorts of funny positions
Great.
while you do this. I don't wanna see any white rock.
Okay.
Before the chalices could go into the 900, they had to get a clean bill of health from Alex the vet. As with any livestock at Polo Reef, after quarantine, they are given one more physical exam before entering the 900. Redundancy is key to a happy reef.
All these really nice chalices, they're going to be headed to the 900 gallon on that rock face. They're going to get like a little mosaic tile style. That being said, they've already been checked twice before, just because the chalices tend to be really sensitive and we like to be really cautious. I'm going through these chalices one last time before they end up in that 900 gallon tank. And we're going to have Max pull them out, and then we'll go through each one of these individually. If there's, if it's completely normal tissue, then again, it's just by my eye and or the triocular scope. I'll be wearing a headlamp just because a good light source is always important. And then they'll go through a medicated dip. Rather, the dip doesn't treat, what we're, or any of the diseases that we're looking for, but one, it makes them more apparent, and two, it makes a lot of the pests and stuff jump off, so it's more visible.
After Alex the vet checked everything, he gives the chalices a thumbs up and his seal of approval. With the chalices ready to go, the team begins their preparation. As with any mission involving John and Joe, the more you prep, the more you have success. Before Michelle can enter the tank, the team has a few more things to do. First, they're going to remove the chalices from their bases. This proved to be a little bit more difficult than expected. Next, they need to set up Michelle with her regulator and be sure everything is working properly. Even though she won't be deep, they want to ensure that there are no issues. As always, it's safety first at Polo Reef. Once Michelle is all set, they need to clear the bottom of the drop down to make sure nothing gets damaged or destroyed. With everything in place, Michelle can finally get into the tank. The team still doesn't know what to expect as she climbs into the deep end of the 900. As Michelle gets comfortable in the tank, Joe begins to get situated. He's going to help Michelle by handing her the chalices one by one.
I think the big rainbow that's sitting down there, I think Andrew wants to move that, and that's a big piece.
As they begin to build the wall, they realize quickly that this is becoming a puzzle with pieces that just don't want to work together. They're constantly placing and removing chalices to make it work.
Are we gonna do all the rainbows together though, or not? Or are we spreading these things out?
Might want to put the rainbows together.
I agree.
One big rainbow.
I agree. You can also put the orange stuff high up and on the rims and above. I think I like them the other way. That way. On those. Yeah, like that.
Piecing the chalices together is one thing, but gluing them, it's a whole other challenge. Using glue underwater is extremely difficult, as it wants to spread everywhere, including on your dry suit and your skin. With the amount of pieces going in, Michelle pushes on, as there seems to be an endless supply of beautiful chalices.
That yellow one, by the way, she knows it's not glue. That's amazing shit. Knock it over.
We gotta fix all that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah. I think it's too high.
Too high, what sense?
I just think it has to be lower, away from the acro. A little down, a little bit.
Were you telling me more of a layer than this one's too? I don't know how I'll get it to
So
stay.
try that. You want to try that on the bottom left, under the.
Yeah, try the left side.
Try it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good there. Yeah, glue it. Nope. Cut side up. Cut side up. Yeah, like that. Yep, just like that.
what do you need.
It needs, so that rock, in order for it to not, for me to be able to put it there, it needs to be.
Move it to the left. Try the other side then. Do it where you had the other one.
But so maybe over. I know what you mean. You need something to kind of like overhang
Yeah, like
so
to.
you can glue.
Where?
Do you want me to give you like a small piece of rubble to glue at the underside of that edge, and then you have more surface?
I mean, if you tell me what piece you want there, I can tell you what I might need. That might help.
Yeah.
It's good.
Am I wrong?
It's good.
Try and now try it where that purple one is. The purple piece is. Yeah. Change that to that. You can even do the face of it. You can even drop it down a little bit.
What am I talking about?
The piece you just put in, you had it hugging right above the rainbow, the blue one.
Right.
And
Like
And
if
the
you
face.
if you use
to the left. Yeah,
Yeah.
there. Just down, down. Yeah, right there. Like that's where it should be. Yeah, down.
And now-
Yeah, like that.
what you see as a rock, you
Yeah.
have to make small pieces like this.
Right. Yeah, I think that
Yes
should be.
or no?
I think that should be glued there. The blue one should be glued under it, and now they're all kind of flowing together.
Right.
After hours in the tank, it's more glue and more chalices. They just keep coming.
This might be.
Let her glue those.
This might be the next piece above in between.
Torch on my neck.
It's been a long day so far for Michelle and the team. Being underwater for this long, it gets exhausting. She needs to take a quick break to hydrate before heading back into the water to finish the job.
So I think it needs to be one of these big pieces.
I think
that
this one
already
is going to be
exist
the
in
problem.
there.
This piece is going to be a problem to place, and this because it's big.
Take the rainbow.
This rainbow?
Yeah, and put it between that green and the purple.
Which rainbow?
Right
The
there.
one that's by your right foot.
Turn it. Yeah, I like it that way better. Turn like that. Anyway. Yeah, that's nice.
Is that orange one staying there?
Doesn't have to.
Like I just propped that up. Do you want me to move that out?
Yeah, it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Michelle has been in the tank for a few hours. This is a lot longer than normal. Even though she's not deep or moving around much, the team starts to think about her safety.
Facing what way? Facing you or facing me?
Facing me.
Finally, Michelle gets the job done and goes running for a well-deserved hot shower. Her determination has paid off in helping piece together the one-of-a-kind Chalice wall.
So, to conclude, a lot of people have asked me about what we're dosing in this mixed reef. It's rather simple. We are dosing ESV bionic part 1, part 2 on a doser running down into the sump. We're running more or less a Reef Moonshiner dosing program, dosed manually in the morning. I really can't believe what has transpired in this tank and as quickly as it transpired. We had very little fights with dinos and diatoms. It's our vision to the T, with an Amphius-dominated tank with small tangs, with lots of flowing corals to complement the large 17,000-gallon tank, which doesn't have a lot of flowing coral. We had this vision of a Chalice wall, and we knew it was going to be difficult to do, glue, collect the Chalice, and Michelle going in there and gluing each piece like a puzzle was absolutely incredible. I really just want to thank everybody who's been involved in this project, from the plumbing to the rock work. Jonathan, John, Michelle, congratulations, we did it. The last part now is just the cabinetry and making this thing nice for our guests. If you like this video, click the subscribe button so we can bring more of this to you.